This is an in-depth breakdown on how to do McDavid's predictable but unstoppable deke. So the first thing is I want to talk about the interplay of three things: downhill skating, precise puck control, and dangle by design. So they all stack on top of each other. The skating, the downhill skating, allows you to have your great control of the puck. And then precise puck control is how to hold your hands and how to move the puck. And then dangle by design is putting that all together so that you can easily do this. And it's one of my favorite ways to build from the ground up. Let's start with the skating pattern. Starting with the skating pattern, as we watch McDavid, a really key thing is the crosses. You can see from the moment he touches his puck, he's already in a cross. Many players, like I like to say, take the puck and then plant their feet. They don't move their feet. They tend to what's called train track, and that makes it very easy for the defender to create an angle or to pressure them one way or the other. So McDavid is someone who is very different than even second line NHLers in that he immediately crosses his feet as he touches the puck. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as he continues that, he's continuing his crosses. He does a nice little shuffle. And what this does is when he creates this lateral movement, either through crosses or shuffles, is it forces the defender to have to actually move. So we can't quite see it from this angle, but we do from this angle here, which is that as McDavid starts to shuffle this way and he starts to adjust his angle, that forces this defender, who's actually squared up to him, to also need to start to move laterally, which sets up our dangle by design in a minute. That's the next part to his skating. The third part to his skating is that once he gets around here, he gets onto his outside edge and he's threatening this defender. I like to imagine that you have this choice and you can go through two doors. McDavid is making it possible to go through the right door or the left door. That causes this defender here to have to freeze because the defender has to say, oh, do I need to defend this door or this door? When McDavid eventually decides, I'm not going through this door, which this defender has to respect, and decides he's going through this door, then what ends up happening is the defender is caught off balance as he comes back this way. That's why he chooses an angle like this, where he creates that lateral gap and then chooses this angle like this, where he can go through this door and this door. Then he uses the mechanics of a corkscrew, and then he does a soft drag. Now, the reason he's doing a soft drag is that he wants to be wide here, and he wants to pull with this foot. What a lot of players make the mistake of is they make the mistake of pushing with their hands and stick handling with their shoulders. They might have seen the head fake drills from the late or mid 90s. And when they do that, their whole balance gets totally taken off and they're not likely to get the puck. But instead, when you actually have this wide base and you use edge drags to create your lateral movement, it allows you to remain balanced at speed while still moving laterally. This footwork here is a cross and into a corkscrew into a soft drag, allowing him to move this way. This drag is coupled with this backhand pull, and that allows him to move through the defender. And then we have a nice goal there. Now, if we back it up, let's look at the precise puck control mechanics. One key thing that I'll point out to you from this point on is that, and this is a common mistake I see a lot of younger players make, or players that aren't quite as good at stick handling yet, is they have the puck too close to their feet. When the puck comes too close to their feet, their hands need to come up. Often their shoulders need to shrug. And then what that does is it throws them off balance. It's also really hard to handle the puck in your feet. What McDavid does, you'll notice, is as he attacks and at speed, he keeps the puck almost like 4 feet in front of him, quite a distance in front of him. And he does that while he moves laterally. So you can see there's like quite a separation there. What this does is it allows him to just guide the puck, and he's not really having to handle it too tightly. He's just able to kind of bump it along and just guide it. So we'll see here just like a little bump out to himself and then like another bump. You don't actually really stick handling. There's just a bump and there's a bump and there's a bump, right? So there's not too much actual stick handling going on, and that's because he's keeping the puck well out in front of him and he's just guiding it. One very simple way to make your stick handling better without actually having to improve your mechanics is just handle it further out in front of you. Don't let it get too close to your feet. That's one of the mechanics of precise puck control. Now, when you have that enables you to then set up, and we're talking, remember, we have the skating, which is downhill skating. We have precise puck control, and all of this builds to Dangle by Design. Dangle by Design is using a player's momentum. And the way that we use this is, like I've already discussed, if you have a player that you're squared up to, and I'll show you this view here, is McDavid he just totally beats this guy. But the real player that McDavid is dangling is this player here. So he's squared up to it. That's the first step. The second step that we go over in Dangle by Design is we move laterally. So we move this way. What that does, like I said earlier, is it starts to create this player having to move laterally. Okay, so we see him move laterally, and then now this player has to move laterally. Then we square back up to the defender, and then, like I said, we create two doors for us to be able to go through. And once we create that situation, then we put this defender in a very vulnerable situation. Once they're in this situation, then we pay attention to stick momentum. So what we're paying attention to is the way that the stick is swinging. And we want to see the way that it's swinging. We want to place the puck just out of its reach and then in the other direction. So we can see that the puck is swinging, or the stick is swinging this way at the puck. McDavid places it through. Now from here, often we will see Crosby in his Dangle by Design. He will just put it through, and then he's able to escape through this side. McDavid correctly, and we'll see Crosby use this as well, reads that the stick is going to come back this way and that this defender has closed down this door, so he goes through back the other way. The real key here to Dangle by Design is the setup and then the stick momentum. A lot of players will try to use the stick momentum without the setup. For example, they might, and it's not possible in this situation, but they might skate straight at the player and then just wait for the stick momentum and then try to go through the stick. And that will work on some defenders. However, it's not going to work on all defenders. To really put it together, you got to have the skating pattern, which is be squared up, move laterally, and then square up again to create the two door options. Then take advantage of stick momentum, exploit the stick momentum, and then use the right mechanics. Typically, it's an anchor or soft drag once you get in tight here to get through. And McDavid surprised everyone here, and so did Perry. He just snuck through here to create a great goal here. So that's how you stack skating mechanics, precise puck control mechanics, and Dangle by Design formula, all part of the Train 2.0 Plus membership. And what I'd love to do is I'd love to show you how to stack those three things together. If you want to check out the free training, I have a free training to start with the downhill skating. And if not, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching.